Hello everyone and welcome to Top of the Hour. Today we welcome a very special guest host to our morning show.
I'm Jacob Russell. Cecilia Ramirez has the morning off, so I'll be taking his place.
And I'm Brooke Whiteley. This week, America made history in selecting Barack Obama as the first African-American president of the United States.
Here at CUTV, we had our first ever live broadcast on election night. From 6 to roughly 10:30 in the evening, our broadcast consisted of live break-ins, debates, and special guest analysts.
The producer of CUTV's election night coverage, Kyle Luters, will be stopping by the studio to give us a more in-depth look at the exciting experience. Top of the Hour starts now.
Please help me welcoming today's special guest host. Kyle Luters was the producer as well as one of the hosts on CUTV's election night coverage. So Kyle, when did the idea for a live broadcast come to you?
The idea for the live election night actually came to us when we were coming back from an OETA conference. Ginny Ann, Roy, Cecilia, who you're filling in for today, and myself were all sitting in the van. We found out that UCO was going to be doing live election night coverage, and we didn't want to be upstaged by our rival a little bit here. So we kind of came up with the plan on the van on the way home, and it just slowly evolved after that. It evolved from just a CUTV thing to involving the Collegian. It became this huge convergence media project that was just awesome.
Well, we definitely don't want to let CUTV be outdone. So what did the show consist of? What did you guys try to do?
What we tried to do on this show is we had a website where people could go on and blog, like our crew. People could leave comments. We had a discussion board. Dr. Keller was flying around taking pictures with his camera all night. Those were great. On camera, we had two debates. We had a student debate and we had a faculty debate. And then we had Dr. Justin Walton come in and provide some great expert analysis for us. I really think that was the highlight of our show.
Yeah, and who all was involved in the actual production of the entire show?
Well, I ended up producing most of the content. I had a lot of help from everybody down here. Dr. Jenkins was just awesome in helping me plan everything and guiding me in the right direction with where I needed to go. Dr. Keller really helped out with all the Collegian stuff and kind of got everybody going over there. Katie Batul was our webmaster. She did a great job keeping the website going. Ginny Ann Roy was flawless and masterful in her directing. She kept the camera and everything switching just great. And I just have to thank everybody. There's too many people to list, but everybody just did a fantastic and phenomenal job, and it was just a humongously successful project.
True, I have to agree. It was definitely successful. Now, maybe you can kind of explain how media convergence is changing productions like a live broadcast as far as what we were able to do.
I think it's changing it quite a bit, Jacob, because what this used to be before convergence, we would have CUTV do our broadcast, and then the Collegian would write a story about it the next day. With this convergence thing, we're able to marry both of them at the same time. We had people asking questions about our broadcast, and we were able to respond to them almost instantaneously or within a few minutes. Dr. Jenkins, I think in one of his blogs, was amazed that Dr. Keller was able to get live election night results from the courthouse from a student down there almost instantaneously. So this convergence thing, it's getting our information faster and grouping it together to give you, the viewer, more of an overall comprehensive election experience.
Well, given that this was our first live broadcast, what did you learn from this? What did you take from it? And are there any live broadcasts we can look forward to in the future?
Taking away from this, it was a lot of work. I did not anticipate the amount of work that was going to go into this, but I would very much so do it again. It was very well worth it. We just had a lot of things go really cool. One of the things I'm very proud of is that Jacob, you and Brooke took part in this. We had live reporters go out into the field, go to watch parties, go down to the courthouse, go to other watch parties for candidates. Jory Palmer and Bennett Dewan did that with you guys, and I thought that was great. I was very much looking forward to your guys' segment, and it was great. Congratulations on that.
I appreciate that.
As far as more programming is concerned, Dr. Jenkins, Dr. Keller, everybody, we're really kind of looking to see what we can do more in the future. I mean, after 2 nights ago success on Tuesday night, we're very much looking forward to it. And Jacob, it was just a very unique experience bringing together CUTV and the Collegians for the first time. I thought it was a great success. I mean, it was very very meaningful to me to have our huge crew show up. I think we had 20 to 30 people show up. We had everybody at the Collegian outside on their computers. Everybody was hustling and bustling around. It really actually looked like a CNN newsroom or a Fox newsroom. Everybody was bustling around. We were getting a lot of great content out on the air. I also need to say thank you to Keith McIsaac. He helped us put CUTV on the internet, as well as our engineer Charlie. But overall, just a great night for CUTV and the Collegian.
All right, well, thank you, Kyle. We appreciate you stopping by the morning show. Brooke, what do you have for us today?
An airline crew in North Carolina used duct tape to keep a passenger in her seat because they say she became unruly. The passenger fought with flight attendants and grabbed other passengers, forcing the flight to land. Maria Esther Castillo is due in court next week, charged with resisting arrest and interfering with operations of a flight crew aboard United Airlines Flight 645 from Puerto Rico to Chicago. Castillo struck a flight attendant in the behind and stood and fell onto a blind passenger. She later started pulling the person's hair. Ankle cuffs kept falling off Castillo, so the flight crew and 2 passengers were forced to use duct tape to keep her in her seat. Authorities say she became disruptive again when pilots boarded the plane to remove her. Wildlife officials in Northern California recently came across one of the biggest Chinook salmon ever found in the state. The giant fish measured more than 4 feet long and weighed 85 pounds. A biologist in the California Department of Fish says this one was bigger than most big ones. He says it's spectacular how the monster spawned and died. The fish weighed about 90 pounds when it began its 100-mile swim upstream. It started from the Pacific to the location where it died on Battle Creek. The California sport fishing record is 88 pounds in Alaska. The fish are called king salmon and they get even bigger. The record sport catch is 97 pounds, while the largest commercial catch was a phenomenal 126 pounds. The California biologist says if someone would have caught this one, it would have been a state record.
Now it's time for the top of the hour's entertainment segment. Las Vegas police are searching for actor and rapper Mos Def over an attack on a fashion event photographer. The incident was back in August, but now Dante Terrell Smith, better known as Mos Def, is facing felony, robbery, and malicious destruction of private property. A warrant has been issued for his arrest. Volker Carell, a photog for the Men's Apparel and Garment Industry Convention, claims the rapper ripped his camera from his neck and then smashed it on the ground. Carell claims to have suffered a minor cut on his left hand during the alleged attack.
This show is dedicated to the late Michael Crichton, who was the author of sci-fi thrillers as big as Jurassic Park and Andromeda. The 6'9", 66-year-old author died in Los Angeles after a long battle with cancer. Not only was Crichton famous for books that became major Hollywood movies, but he also created the TV hospital series ER in 1994. The author's new novel had been scheduled for release next month, but it was postponed indefinitely because of his illness. Michael Crichton was a great storyteller that showed us the world through new and creative eyes.
Thanks to everyone for tuning in to this week's only CUTV show. We'll be back with our entire lineup of shows next week, including the Film Geek Show and our In the Huddle sports show. All of our shows play at different times on the plasmas around campus. You can also log on to youtube.com to see all of our shows anytime you'd like. Just type in CUInternetTV and select from any of our programming.
And get ready for the premiere of the second chapter of our CUTV Spanish soap opera. This telenovela will also be shown around campus as well as on our YouTube channel. We like to thank everyone for all the feedback and support you gave us on the first chapter.
And a very special thanks to all the dedicated CUTV crew and Collegian members who came out and put together a great election night show that I know we were both proud to be a part of.
Definitely.
This has been Jacob Russell.
And I'm Brooke Whiteley. Tune in next week at the top of the hour, every hour.